CCB sleuths raided Casino Royale Bar and Restaurant in Bengaluru late last night and also Silver Spoon Bar and Restaurant in Sampangi Ramnagar. They managed to rescue 36 women and also arrested 10 staff members and 52 customers from Casino Royale Bar. 22 women were rescued from Silver Spoon Bar. 30 staff members were arrested along with 38 customers. All the accused have been booked under IPC sections 370 and 370A. After receiving a tip-off that the two bars in question were running an illicit prostitution racket, the CCB sleuth swung into action and raided two bars in Bengaluru, one in Sampangi Ramnagar, that is the Silver Spoon Bar and Restaurant, and the other one in Gandhi Nagar, which is the Casino Royale Bar that the CCB sleuths raided. Many of those who were inside the bars tried to escape, but they were apprehended almost immediately. Several women were rescued, apart from which customers as well as the staff members at these bars were taken into custody. And well, in a shocking case of ragging, a physically challenged boy was allegedly made to drink urine by 3 of his seniors. The incident took place at Beltangadi in Mangalore. 3 students of Class 6 in Nada Government Higher Primary School were arrested and produced before the District Juvenile Justice Board. They allegedly forced a student with impaired hearing and speech abilities to drink urine mixed with water. They were arrested based on a complaint by the victim's father. The victim is a student of 4 in the same school. On Monday, after classes, when Praveen was returning home, 3 students stopped him and mixed urine in his water bottle and forced him to drink it. When the boy described the incident to his parents in sign language, they failed to decipher it. On the following morning, Praveen refused to attend school and his parents complained to the school authorities. The headmaster learnt about the incident and informed the parents. Well, despite several children permanently suffering due to the after effects of ragging, the suffering can be physical or psychological. Many have even lost their lives and have been forced to suicide as well. And here are 3 bullies who are accused of forcing a mentally challenged boy to consume urine. When he was returning home from school, they stopped him, filled his bottle with urine and forced him to drink it. The boy refused to go to school, and that's when the parents realized that something was wrong. They approached the principal, and the principal found out what had happened and immediately informed the parents about it. Well, in a really heart-wrenching case, a techie came under a train but kept his wits to dial an ambulance. The incident took place at Bayapanahalli station, which happened to be deserted at the time of the incident. The victim has been identified as 24-year-old Nasir, who directed the ambulance driver because the place was deserted at the time of the incident. What has truly amazed doctors and everyone around is Nasir Ahmed's exceptional grit. Despite bleeding profusely and being in excruciating pain, Nasir not only called up 108, but he kept giving directions to the ambulance driver too. But one of Nasir's legs had to be amputated. But Nasir saved his other leg and maybe his life too because of his own grit and determination, even as he lay there in excruciating pain and incredible amount of injuries that he had suffered because of the train running over his legs. He managed to call the ambulance and direct the ambulance to the nearest hospital as well, because it was in a deserted location that he had met with the accident. One of his legs has been amputated, but he managed to save his other legs thanks to his presence of mind, his grit and his courage. My colleague Bansi joins us with more details on this. Well, Bansi, what more can you tell us?
Well, Nishita, there is a shocking tale really. This man was near the Baiparalli police station, near the Baiparalli railway station in the Baiparalli police station limits, and a 24-year-old Nasir. Now, his story and what happened to him is truly heartbreaking, because even as he was feeling dizzy, he was headed to Mysore, and he was feeling a little bit dizzy, and he went towards the door of the train. And even as he stood there, the train moved a couple of meters, and then he slipped and fell on the tracks. And no sooner he fell, then the wheels of the train ran over both his legs. And he says that both his legs were hanging just by a thin skin, membrane of skin. So thereafter he called ambulance 108 and even directed the ambulance to the spot where he was. It took about 40 grueling minutes before the ambulance could actually pick him up on a stretcher. and rush him to the nearest hospital. The doctors performed surgery, and they have managed to save one of his legs. But the other leg, they had to amputate because had he been rushed a little earlier, then perhaps they could have saved his other leg also. A very shocking tale of Nasir, a software techie who was on his way to Mysore when this incident occurred. He was rushed to the Boring Hospital, then to the Hospital, where at about 2:45 p.m. he arrived. And since then, of course, it has been very traumatic. Initially, he wasn't told that one of his legs has been amputated, but later he did see it. There were a lot of tears and very traumatic scenes when he realized that one of his legs was not there. But nevertheless, he's managed to save his other leg, Nishita.
Right, stay with us, Bansi. Let's quickly listen to what the victim had to say.
I fell down. I was on exactly middle of the track, and my chest is almost on the another track, and my legs were. If the train came suddenly, if I had in that same position, it would have been on my chest. I just rolled for a few meters, and I made myself in the middle of the track, but I couldn't take out my legs on the track. Suddenly it went. It was moving. I just kept calm myself and thought, okay, if I get up, I will die definitely. Okay, let's be calm for a few seconds. The train went, and I got up, and I seen my legs. It was totally crushed up, and I relaxed first. I didn't took tension. I didn't got any tensed. I just kept relaxed, and I asked for help around the people. There were no common people were traveling, but no one helped me, and I just thought for a while. 15 minutes I wasted in asking help itself for others. Then again I relaxed and thought, why should I ask someone? I can give a call. I having a mobile. And then I gave a call for ambulance, and I gave address. Then they picked up me. Feeling like hell, I thought I could die there itself. But for a while I thought, okay, last time I should see my parents once. That's the only reason I called for ambulance. Else I would have given up there itself.
Well, in fact, that was the strong-willed Abdul Nasir, who went on to state that he kept himself calm despite meeting with the accident. The train had just run over both his legs, but he decided to keep himself calm so that he could think straight. More often than not, it is the trauma, it is the sudden shock that enables these victims to lose consciousness, and they cannot be of any help to themselves. But in this particular case, Nasir remained conscious. He was calm, he was composed. He was composed enough to dial 108, even give directions to the driver of the ambulance, because it was in a desolate location that he had met with an accident. Truly an inspirational story of grit and courage. Let's listen to what the doctor had to say regarding how Nasir was brought in and his condition now.
He came, his blood pressure was very low because of the excessive bleeding, and though he was conscious, he was able to take a decision. He wanted the legs to be saved at any cost, and we said we will give a trial. We will see how best we can do. Both the legs were crushed and they were pulled by the train wheels. So we took him to the operation theatre immediately. When we saw one of the right leg got very badly crushed, even the distal part of the foot and toes were badly crushed, it was not possible to reconstruct or revive that leg. We had to amputate that leg. The left leg was looking okay. It was crushed at the level of the foot, the ankle joint. We thought we will give a trial of reimplantation of the foot. Reimplantation of the foot at that level is very difficult because it's a complex structure of bones as well as a complex tissues, blood vessels, nerves, and everything. Because one leg was already gone, we thought we should try to save the other leg. And we took a challenge along with Dr. Pradeep. We did the reimplantation. Bone was fixed initially. We tried to fuse the joint as well as reconstruct all the blood vessels, nerves, tendons, everything, whatever was available. We gave him only a chance of 20 to 30% because it was badly crushed. And it did quite well, and he did a post-operatively quite well. He tolerated the surgery quite well, and now the leg is surviving. So hoping that he will be able to ambulatory at the earliest.